Shalom. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakaha Kodash. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God or Jehovah. But in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the true name of our Lord is Yahweh, which means He is, He exists. Bahasham means in the name in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, and Yahweh Shai is the true name of our Lord, the Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. But in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, His true name is Yahweh Shai, which means He is deliverer, or He delivers. And when He returns, He's coming back to deliver His elect, the 144,000 and the large multitude that's slated for salvation. I want to give double honors to my elder apostles, to my elder bishops, to my elder teachers of Great Millstone that rule well, which taught me this truth, who are the true leaders of Israel today. And also peace, love, blessings, and salutations unto the elect. All right, shalom. Also shalom to the few sisters that listen and follow this truth in silence and sincerity. Shalom to you, Akwaf, to you sisters as well. And, I'm going to jump right into it. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3. And it reads, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts. And when it says the last days, it's referring to the times that we're in now. Okay, the last days of this Edomite rulership, man, or the rulership of the Edomite. You can see that the Lord has a particular spirit on Edom, right? This top 1%. The ones who directly benefited from the blessing that was given unto Esau through Isaac, right? You have a top 1%, the so-called elite, right? These top banking families, these small hats, like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, so on and so forth. They are the ones that directly are benefiting from the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, right? The sword, that blessing that was given unto them by Isaac. But we're in the end of their rulership and also that trickled down, down to these regular Edomites as far as so-called white privilege. Okay. So ultimately, this Edomite rulership, which every Edomite benefited from, right? We're at the end of the rule of the Edomite. So when it says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days, it's talking about the last days of this Edomite rulership. But now it's talking, let me say this. It says in the last days, scoffers walking after their own lusts. So in the last days of this Edomite rulership, it's prophesied that more and more scoffers were going to come to the forefront. And that's what we're seeing. Ultimately, we're in a time to where the belief in a higher power, the belief in a Messiah is at an all-time low. So when they see the prophets, these people, they get mad, especially our people. Right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, so-called Hispanics, right? They get mad when they see the prophets of the Lord prophesying because of their hatred for Yahweh Bashim Shai and their lack of belief. Okay. So like I said, we're in a time to where it's at an all-time high. Most of our people, they get on the internet, they get on social media, they scoff, they mock, and they express their frustration that they have with the Hebrew Israelites. But really, they're, really they hate and they're frustrated with the righteousness of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So this is the times that we're in, man. So this is more proof to let us know that Yahweh Shai is close to returning, because everybody is scoffing and coming against his word, coming against the true believers of Yahweh Shema Shai, and it's going to intensify as we get closer and closer, right? It says walking after their own lusts, and that's what they did during the time, when Noah was prophesying, man, right? They mocked and scoffed at Noah while they were, in the midst of carrying out their own lusts, fulfilling the flesh, so to speak. You see, those same spirits are back here today doing the same thing, right? Talking shit. And they're going to continue to talk shit until the Lord shuts their mouths. Okay, when these prophecies hit, we already see how these devils are, first of all, we're still in a government shutdown. And they're in the midst of cutting EBT, food stamps, and applying that pressure to everybody that has their faith in this government. Just like when you read Isaiah, the 31st chapter, it goes into how the strength of Egypt is going to be their shame, right? Let's grab that real quick. Isaiah 31. Let's go to Isaiah 30. It says, woe to the rebellious children, speaking about you Israelites, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, right? They don't clothe themselves in righteousness, man, right? They don't prescribe to the true righteousness of the Lord, man. They scoff at it. Okay, so they're not covering themselves in righteousness, but they're putting their trust in ultimately Esau, right? They depend on Esau whenever they're in need, which that's a part of the curses, of course, right? But they also complain to this devil to give them equal rights, to treat them equally. And at the end of the day, Esau is your enemy. He doesn't give a shit about you complaining unto him, man. That's just going to even come against you even more and more, right? But that's Jake. Okay, they can't see past America. They can't see past Babylon, man. Right? It says, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt. Now, when you go into the word Egypt, it ultimately means bondage. Okay, which this is a future Egypt that we're in right now, Babylon, America the Great. Or should I say America, Babylon the Great, however you want to say it, right? This is that great city, okay? It says that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. So they're putting their trust and their faith into America, Babylon the Great, okay? Now it says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. So Jake is about to be in a confused case, because they actually put their trust in this government. They put their trust in America. They're putting all of their energy into it, and they're going to lose miserably, man. And they're going to crash out. Okay. Now let's go back to 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. It says, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. Okay. And that's their mindset, man. Right. When we go to Ezekiel, real quick, let's go to Ezekiel, the 12th chapter. Right. Let's get to the point. Let's start at verse 21. And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? And that's the mindset of these common 2/3 Israelites, man. Pretty much when they come against us, they'll say things like, oh, you guys been talking about this for years. These things aren't going to happen in our lifetime. You guys are wasting your time. You guys are actually waiting on the Sky Daddy to come and deliver you. it's not going to happen, trying to cast doubt, ultimately trying to project their insecurities and their doubts unto us. And they actually get even more pissed off and angry when they see the confidence that we have in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that's ultimately, one of the things that it comes down to, man. Okay, they don't have faith in the so-called things that they believe in, whether it's religion or whatever. Well, they have faith in money, I'll say that. This fiat currency. And they have faith in Esau. They have faith in America. And that's going to be their shame, like I just read in Isaiah the 30th chapter. Okay, so once all of that is taken away from them and the Lord completely strips them down bare, these, it's going to expose that the things that they had faith in were nothing more than an illusion. And they're going to crash out. Okay, because they have this mindset right here of what I'm reading. This is the common talking point of the 2/3, man. Well, the common mindset of the 2/3. Ultimately their rebellion against the Heavenly Father. It says, "Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision faileth?" Right? They'll say things like, you guys been talking about this for years and things and ain't nothing happened, not really paying attention and things are happening, but they don't see it. So it's going to catch them by surprise. As the Lord says, he's going to come back as a thief in the night, right? Of course, when he returns, but ultimately, when these prophecies hit that Jake ain't expecting, right? When certain comforts are taken away, that's a part of the Lord creeping up on him, okay, as a thief in the night. You see? It says, "In every vision faileth. Tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall not, Salakia, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision." So the Lord is getting ready to shut the mouths of these scoffers, man. Right? For there shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am the Lord Yahweh, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. Right? These prophecies, and they are hitting, man. Okay, you see more and more people protesting, right? More and more people showing their displeasure in Donald Trump and his administration. People are catching on to his wickedness, and ultimately this devil is getting ready to show his horns, and Jake is going to be caught all up in the middle of it, man. Okay, we're entering into the time of Jacob's trouble, right? You see how they're having this new militarized police force, because that's really what ICE is. Okay, a new militarized police force for the NWO. And you have some people catching on to it, but really it's too late, man, because these are the biblical prophecies, which beginning with the elder apostles, elder bishops and elder teachers of Great Millstone on down. We've been saying this for years, that these things were going to happen, and now they're happening, man. Okay. It says, "For there shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divination within the house of Israel." So the Lord is getting ready to shut the mouths of these scoffers, man. "For I am the Lord Yahweh, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word and will perform it, saith the Lord power." And he's doing that via the prophets, man. Okay. It says, "Again, the word of the Lord Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say the vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesied for the times that are far off." Yeah, that's Jake's mindset, right? "Therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord power." You see that? Now let's grab Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, right? And it reads, well, let's start at verse 1. And this is the mindset of the true prophets, man. the true believers of Yahweh Bashim Shai, the watchmen. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. Right now, how is it that the prophets are standing upon their watch? By paying attention to what's going on around the world, right? The prophecies, and linking them back to the scriptures, as it says in 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, when it's talking about measuring the time. It says 2nd Esdras 9:1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, the signs being the prophecies, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And that's what's going on. And the Lord is visiting this world, right? Via the signs in the heavens, right? Certain blood moons, solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, so on and so forth. And also the chariots, the so-called UFOs, the angels revealing themselves more and more. And also when it comes to the prophecy, man, seeing how this devil is moving, right? Seeing what's going on with these other countries preparing for war. The MOTB is pretty much it's mainstream, but it's, maybe one major event away from being mandated. You see how they're talking about the digital ID, the digital dollar, putting everything on a grid. See, these are the prophecies getting ready to come to pass that the Lord spoke of via the prophets of old, right? As it says, the things that are written aforetime were written for our learning. And that's talking about the times that we're in now. Okay, now we can read about these certain things. We have more understanding. Okay, so for all of these scoffers that come against us, we know that shame is about to come upon them, because we can see it. We have the vision, right? The vision being the prophecies, man. Okay, Salakia. Being the prophecies, right? So it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he was saying to me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And that's what the prophets, the prophets are keeping the watch and giving that warning. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Okay, now when you go into the word vision, ultimately it goes into prophecy, right? So we can see the vision, we can see the prophecies playing out, especially even more so now when it's so mainstream now, man. Okay, the uproars of the people, right? Like it says in verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, we're seeing that. You just had that large No Kings protest that took place this past Saturday, man. Right, and right now what we're seeing is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. Right, that calm before the storm, which I believe Donald Trump actually said that in his first stint as president. He spoke about the calm before the storm. I wonder what he was talking about. Okay, but this is like that calm before the storm, man. Because all hell is getting ready to break loose. Whether you people believe it or not, it's going to happen. You have people trying to deny it. You have some people that they can kind of see it, but they're trying to put it off. They're trying to deny it. They think that denying it is going to stop the prophecies, but it's not. Like it says in Romans, the 3rd chapter, for what if some did not believe? Let's grab that real quick. Romans, the 3rd chapter, because it doesn't matter if these people believe or not. These prophecies are going to come to pass. Whether you people believe it or not, whether you people like it or not, it doesn't matter. Romans 3:3, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? So just because they don't believe, does that mean that the Lord is going to pull back on his prophecy? Is going to pull back on his word? Right? Verse 4, Yahweh forbid. So no, the prophecies are still going to come to pass. Right? The Lord is still going to do as he said he was going to do. Right? It says the Most High, or Yahweh forbid, yea, let the Most High Yahweh be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, thou that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Okay. Now, I also want to read that in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, right? When it says, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let's get to the point. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity, the unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee. We're not worried about the unbelievers, right? These scoffers, these so on and so forth. We're not worried about them because we know the end game of these people with that particular scoffing mindset. 2nd Esdras 15:4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So the Lord is getting ready to put a lot of people to death, a lot of 2/3 Israelites to death, man. In the time of Jacob's trouble, you see how they're painting out Jake to be the face of terror, to be the problem of what happened to Babylon. And a lot of these Edomites, they know that that's not true, but their hatred for Jake, they don't care. They're going to lash out. But ultimately, it's the wrath of the Lord. OK, and you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and so-called Hispanics cannot say that you haven't been warned, man. OK, this word has been going out since via the internet. This word has been going out since 2007. OK, so there's no excuse, man. Even your favorite celebrities talk about and make mention of the Israelites. You just had about 2 weeks ago a video that went viral of a brother who was teaching, and he had a gun pulled out on him by a meth head Edomite. And, and they got into altercation. He ended up whooping that Edomite's ass, and it went viral. And you had a lot of people that made responses to it, and they knew that he was an Israelite. Okay, they heard what he was teaching. They don't care. They looked at that video as just a way for them to make a video, to make content, to make money. But ultimately, they weren't listening to the message. And the more I think about it, I believe the Lord had that happen, for that purpose. OK, for more Jake to be exposed to this truth and to not think anything of it. So when the Lord actually does bring that wrath, that's just more Jake that's going to get judged for not hearkening to the word, man. And that's just me speaking as a man, just my opinion, because the Lord is going to ultimately put down these non-believers, man. Right. But let's get to the point. Habakkuk chapter 2. Let's read verse 2 again. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision, the prophecies, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So, yeah, we hear this word. We believe in this word, right? The prophecies, which is the vision, the prophecies. We believe in it, right? And when it says he may run that readeth it, we bring this truth out, man. We go out to the highways and byways and we edify to the best of our abilities, man. Okay. Offering up that righteous sacrifice, as I said, to the best of our abilities. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, being the point for the vision is yet for an appointed time. These prophecies, man, right? The Lord had a specific, he still has a specific date, set date, or a specific set time that these prophecies are going to kick in and hit, right? And that's going to be that when shit hits the fan moment, right? And then it's going to be, all hell breaking loose, and it's up from there, man. You see, it says, but at the end, it shall speak. At the end of what? This Edomite rulership, man. The times that we're in right now. The end of the Edomite rule. Okay, the end of America, Babylon. Okay, and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So these prophecies are going to hit dead on, man. Okay, so for the scoffers, man, hey, just keep that same energy when all hell breaks loose, man. But I just wanted to go into this quick lesson. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And until next time, I want to say shalom.